Hey, Maya, can I ask you something a little personal?
Sure. Go ahead.
What's your biggest strength?
Good question.
Take your time.
Okay. I think it's patience.
Really? Patience.
Yes. I don't give up easily.
And your biggest weakness?
Oh, that's easy. Procrastination.
Same here, honestly.
I thought you were super organized.
Only on the outside, Maya.
That's so relatable.
Today's topic is perfect for our listeners.
Talking about strengths and weaknesses, right?
Exactly. It's something everyone thinks about.
Especially before job interviews.
Or when you're trying to improve yourself.
Or just understanding who you are.
So let's dive right into it.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Hey, Maya, can I ask you something a little personal?
Sure. Go ahead.
What's your biggest strength?
Good question.
Take your time.
Okay. I think it's patience.
Really? Patience.
Yes. I don't give up easily.
And your biggest weakness?
Oh, that's easy. Procrastination.
Same here, honestly.
I thought you were super organized.
Only on the outside, Maya.
That's so relatable.
Today's topic is perfect for our listeners.
Talking about strengths and weaknesses, right?
Exactly. It's something everyone thinks about.
Especially before job interviews.
Or when you're trying to improve yourself.
Or just understanding who you are.
So let's dive right into it.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So, why do you think patience is your strength?
Well, I work with children, remember? Teaching kids English requires a lot of patience. If a child doesn't understand something the first time, I can't get frustrated. I have to explain it again in a different way.
That makes sense. Kids learn at different speeds.
Exactly. Some kids get a concept in one try. Others need 10 different examples before it clicks. I've learned to stay calm no matter how long it takes.
That's a valuable skill, honestly. Not everyone can do that.
Thanks. What about you? What's your biggest strength?
I'd say I'm good at staying calm under pressure. When things go wrong, I don't panic. I try to think clearly and find a solution step by step.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Last month, our internet went down right before we were supposed to record a live episode. Everyone was stressed, but I just switched to my phone's hotspot and we still recorded on time.
Wow, that's quick thinking.
I guess years of things going wrong taught me to expect problems.
That's such a podcaster mindset.
Exactly. Something always breaks right before recording.
The universe loves testing us.
So let's talk about weaknesses now. You mentioned procrastination.
Yes, it's a real struggle for me. I know what I need to do, but somehow I delay it until the last minute.
Do you know why that happens?
I think it's because I want everything to be perfect. So instead of starting, I overthink it and waste time.
So it's connected to perfectionism.
Exactly. It's strange because perfectionism sounds like a strength, but it can become a weakness too.
That's such a good point. A strength taken too far can become a problem.
Right. Like being too honest and hurting people's feelings.
Or being too generous and letting people take advantage of you.
Exactly like that. So, what's your weakness, Ryan? Besides procrastination.
Funny how you asked me using my own name.
Sorry, force of habit from teaching kids.
It's fine. Honestly, my weakness is that I overthink small decisions. Like choosing what to order at a restaurant can take me 10 minutes.
I've seen that happen. It's actually kind of funny to watch.
I know. My friends make fun of me for it.
Do you overthink big decisions too, or just small ones?
Oh, that's interesting. Actually, with big decisions, I become very focused and decisive. It's the tiny, unimportant choices that trap me.
That's the opposite of most people.
I guess my brain saves all its energy for what really matters.
That's one way to look at it.
So, why do you think it's important for people to know their strengths and weaknesses?
Honestly, I think it's one of the most important things in life. If you don't know your strengths, you can't use them properly. And if you don't know your weaknesses, you can't improve.
Especially in interviews, right? Employers always ask this question.
Yes, and many people struggle to answer it honestly. They give generic answers like, I work too hard, as a weakness.
That's such a classic fake answer.
Everyone has used it at least once.
Guilty. I used that exact line in my first job interview.
Did it work?
No, actually. The interviewer just smiled and asked a follow-up question I couldn't answer well.
That's what happens when the answer isn't real.
Right. I think honesty works better, even in interviews.
Definitely. But honesty with a plan. Like saying, my weakness is public speaking, but I've been taking a course to improve it.
That's a much smarter way to answer.
It shows self-awareness and effort to grow.
Let's talk about how people can actually identify their strengths and weaknesses. Some people genuinely don't know.
True. I think one simple way is to ask people close to you. Friends, family, coworkers. They often see things about us that we can't see ourselves.
That's a great point. Sometimes we're too close to ourselves to be objective.
Exactly. Another way is to notice what activities give you energy versus what drains you.
Can you explain that a bit more?
Sure. If teaching a class makes me feel excited and alive, that's a sign it's connected to my strengths. But if doing paperwork makes me feel tired and unmotivated, that might point to a weakness, or at least something I don't enjoy.
That's such a useful way to think about it. Energy as a signal.
Exactly. Our body and mind often tell us the truth before our logical brain does.
I also think trying new things helps. You can't know if you're good at something until you try it.
Absolutely. I never knew I was good at teaching until I accidentally helped my younger cousin with her English homework.
Oh, really? Tell me more about that.
She was struggling with grammar, and I explained it using simple examples from cartoons she liked. She understood it instantly, and that moment changed everything for me.
That's such a beautiful story. One small moment led to your whole career.
Exactly. Sometimes strengths hide in unexpected places.
What about weaknesses? Have you discovered any by accident?
Oh, yes. I found out I'm terrible at multitasking during my first week at a busy call center job.
What happened?
I was trying to answer calls, take notes, and check emails all at once. I made so many small mistakes that day. My manager gently told me to focus on one task at a time.
That sounds stressful, but also a good lesson.
It really was. Now I know I do better with deep focus rather than multitasking.
I think a lot of people assume multitasking is a strength, but for many, it's actually a weakness.
Exactly. Everyone's brain works differently.
Let's talk about turning weaknesses into strengths. Do you think that's really possible?
I believe so, at least partially. You can't completely erase a weakness, but you can manage it and reduce its negative effect.
Can you give an example from your own life?
Sure. Since procrastination is my weakness, I started using a simple trick. I break big tasks into tiny 5-minute steps. Once I start, I usually keep going.
That's smart. Starting is often the hardest part.
Exactly. The 5-minute rule tricks my brain into beginning. What about your overthinking weakness, Ryan? Have you found any tricks?
There you go using my name again.
Old habits die hard.
It's okay. I like it, actually. To answer your question, yes. I now set a timer for small decisions. If it's something simple like food, I give myself 60 seconds to decide.
60 seconds? That's strict.
It has to be, or I'll be there all day.
Does it actually work?
Surprisingly, yes. It forces my brain to trust its first instinct instead of endlessly analyzing.
That's a great strategy. Simple but effective.
I think most weaknesses can be managed with small, practical systems like that.
I completely agree. It's not about becoming a different person, just building smarter habits.
Let's shift a little. Do you think strengths and weaknesses change over time?
Definitely. I used to be very shy as a child. Talking in front of people terrified me.
Really? You seem so confident now, especially on this podcast.
Thank you. But it took years of practice. Teaching actually helped me overcome that shyness.
That's inspiring. So a weakness turned into a strength eventually.
Exactly. It shows that weaknesses aren't permanent labels.
I like that idea a lot. Nothing about us is fixed forever.
Right. Even strengths can fade if we don't use them.
That's true. I used to be really good at drawing, but I haven't practiced in years.
See? That proves my point. Skills need continuous care, just like relationships.
That's such a good comparison. You have to nurture both.
Exactly, Ryan.
Now you're using my name too.
Only fair after all those times.
Let's talk about how culture affects how we view strengths and weaknesses. Do you think that plays a role?
Definitely. In some cultures, talking confidently about your strengths is seen as normal and encouraged. In others, it might be seen as bragging.
That's so true. I've noticed some of our viewers hesitate to talk positively about themselves.
Exactly. Many English learners struggle with this in interviews, especially if their culture values modesty over self-promotion.
How would you advise them to balance that?
I'd say practice stating facts rather than opinions. Instead of saying, I'm amazing at teamwork, say, I've led 3 successful group projects at work.
That's such a smart tip. It feels less like bragging and more like evidence.
Exactly. Facts speak louder than adjectives.
I love that phrase. Facts speak louder than adjectives.
You can quote me on that.
I just did.
Very smooth, Ryan.
Let's talk about weaknesses in a work environment specifically. How should someone handle admitting a weakness to a boss or team?
I think honesty combined with a plan works best here, too. For example, saying, I sometimes struggle with tight deadlines, so I've started using project management tools to stay organized.
That shows responsibility instead of just admitting a flaw.
Exactly. Nobody expects perfection, but everyone respects self-awareness.
Do you think weaknesses can actually build trust between team members?
Surprisingly, yes. When you admit a weakness honestly, it makes you more human and approachable.
That's interesting. People often think showing weakness makes you look bad.
It's actually the opposite in many cases. Vulnerability builds connection.
I really like that idea.
Me too. It changed how I see my own weaknesses.
Let's talk about English learners specifically, since that's our main audience. How can knowing your strengths help with language learning?
Great question. If your strength is memory, you can focus on vocabulary building. If your strength is speaking confidently, focus more on conversation practice.
So it's about leaning into what naturally works for you.
Exactly. And for weaknesses, if grammar is difficult, don't avoid it. Just give it extra dedicated time.
What if listening is someone's weakness?
Then I'd suggest daily listening practice, even just 10 minutes. Podcasts like ours are perfect for that.
Shameless self-promotion, Maya.
Well, it's true though.
It really is. Repetition builds comfort with any weak skill.
Exactly. Weaknesses shrink with consistent small effort, not big dramatic changes.
I love that phrase too. Small, consistent effort over big dramatic change.
You're stealing all my lines today.
Only the good ones.
Fair enough.
Let's talk about balance. Do you think it's healthier to focus more on strengths or fix weaknesses?
I believe in a mix. Focus mainly on strengths because that's where real growth and confidence come from. But manage weaknesses enough so they don't hold you back.
That makes sense. You can't become a superstar at everything.
Exactly. Trying to fix every single weakness can be exhausting and unrealistic.
Have you ever tried to fix a weakness that just wasn't worth it?
Yes, actually. I once tried really hard to become good at cooking elaborate meals.
How did that go?
Terribly! I burned 3 dinners in 1 week.
Oh no!
Eventually, I accepted that simple meals are just fine, and I focused my energy elsewhere.
Sometimes accepting a weakness is the healthiest choice.
Exactly. Not every weakness needs fixing. Some just need acceptance.
That's such an important distinction. Fix what matters, accept the rest.
Beautifully said.
Thank you, thank you.
Don't let it go to your head.
Before we wrap up, I want to ask about something else. Do you think strengths and weaknesses look different in relationships compared to work?
Oh, that's a really interesting angle. Yes, I think they show up very differently. At work, my patience helps me teach. But in relationships, patience helps me listen without judging.
That's true. I think my calmness under pressure helps at work, but at home, it sometimes makes me seem too detached emotionally.
Really? Tell me more about that.
Well, when my sister was going through a hard time last year, I stayed calm and tried to give practical solutions. But she told me later she just wanted me to listen, not fix things.
That's such a common problem. A strength in one context becomes a weakness in another.
Exactly. It taught me that being calm isn't always the right response. Sometimes people just need emotional support first.
I think that's a lesson many people learn the hard way, including me.
Have you experienced something similar?
Yes, actually. My patience, which helps so much with my students, sometimes makes me too tolerant in personal relationships. I let people repeat the same mistakes without saying anything.
So your strength becomes passivity in certain situations.
Exactly. I've had to learn to speak up, even when my instinct is to stay patient and quiet.
It's fascinating how the same trait can help in one place and hurt in another.
That's exactly why self awareness matters so much. Context changes everything.
Do you think our friends and family should know our strengths and weaknesses too? Not just employers?
Absolutely. In fact, I think it's even more important. Employers see us for a few hours a day,
but the people close to us live with our patterns every single day.
That's a good point. Maybe we should talk about our strengths and weaknesses more openly with people we love.
I agree. It can actually prevent a lot of misunderstandings.
Let's talk about something practical now. How can our listeners describe their strengths and weaknesses in English confidently, especially if English isn't their first language?
Great question. I always tell my students to prepare a few key sentences in advance, so they're not searching for words in the moment.
Can you give us a simple sentence structure they can use?
Sure. For strengths, they can say, one of my biggest strengths is my ability to stay calm under pressure, especially when things don't go as planned.
That's clear and confident.
And for weaknesses, something like, one area I'm working to improve is my time management, so I've started using a daily planner.
That's such a practical example. It shows the weakness and the solution together.
Exactly. That combination makes a huge difference, both in interviews and everyday conversations.
What about common vocabulary mistakes learners make when discussing this topic?
One big one is confusing strength and power. Strength here means a good quality, not physical power.
I remember a student once telling me his strength was lifting heavy boxes.
That's adorable, honestly. It shows he understood the word literally.
True, and it's a good reminder that context really matters in English.
Another common mistake is overusing the word good. Instead of saying, I'm good at teamwork, learners can say, I'm skilled at teamwork, or I excel in teamwork.
Those alternatives sound much more natural and professional.
Exactly. Small vocabulary upgrades can make a big difference in how confident you sound.
Any tips for describing weaknesses without sounding too negative?
Yes, definitely. Instead of saying, I'm bad at public speaking, try saying, public speaking is an area I'm actively improving.
That reframing makes it sound like growth instead of failure.
Exactly. Language really shapes how people perceive us, even in small ways.
This has been such a helpful discussion. I feel like our listeners will walk away with real usable tools.
Me too. I love episodes like this, where language learning connects with real personal growth.
Let's wrap up with some practical advice for our listeners. If someone wants to discover their strengths and weaknesses today, what's the first step?
I'd say grab a piece of paper and write down 3 things you're naturally good at, and 3 things that consistently challenge you.
Simple but effective.
Then ask someone close to you if they agree with your list. Sometimes their perspective adds something you missed.
What's the next step after that?
Pick one weakness that actually affects your daily life or goals and create one small habit to manage it. Don't try to fix everything at once.
And for strengths?
Find one new way to use your strength this week. If you're good at listening, maybe help a friend through a problem. If you're creative, start a small personal project.
I love that advice. Small, actionable steps.
Exactly. Self-improvement doesn't need to be dramatic to be meaningful.
One more question before we close. Do you think it helps to write down your strengths and weaknesses regularly? Like keeping a journal?
I actually do this myself. Once a month, I write a short note about what went well and what felt difficult. It helps me notice patterns over time.
That's a great habit. I think most people only reflect on this during interviews or big life changes.
Exactly. But reflection works better as a regular habit, not just a one-time event.
Do you ever look back at old notes and feel surprised?
All the time. Sometimes a weakness from a year ago has completely disappeared, and a new one has taken its place.
That's oddly comforting, actually. It means we're always changing.
Exactly. Growth isn't a straight line, it's more like a winding path.
Any final thoughts before we end today's episode?
Just that everyone has both strengths and weaknesses, and that's completely normal. Nobody is perfect, and honestly, that's what makes us interesting.
Well said, Maya. I think our strengths and weaknesses together make us who we are.
Exactly, Ryan. It's the perfect mix that creates our unique personality.
All right, everyone. That's it for today's episode.
We hope this conversation helped you think about your own strengths and weaknesses.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend learning English.
And leave a comment telling us one of your strengths. We would love to hear it.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Take care.